and welcome to
Spill the Tea Tuesdays with the Khaled sisters.
Hi. Okay. Before we start our day, we'd like to take a moment for all of our Palestinian brothers and sisters and the kids in Palestine. So we're just going to do a quick moment of silence. Alright, so we're going to start off our podcast with checking in on each other and making sure everybody's okay. So, Sisu, how's your day today?
My day was fine. It's going good so far. Just a gloomy Tuesday. That's for me. I have a bad headache. Wanted to sleep in, but I gotta see them, so we have to do this.
Yeah, I feel you on the sleeping in part.
Oh yeah.
Luna?
Honestly, it's just been a really rough couple of days, just trying to wrap my mind around everything. It's just this morning, the drive. I needed the drive, so it's good that I had to drive to Canton. I listened to Eliana. Her music is nice, and Aisha's obsessed with her music, so every time a different song comes on, she's like, no more, she wants Eliana, so we listened to her. And then, it was good to see my mother-in-law for a little, and I'm here.
By Eliana, she means the singer, not my daughter.
Yeah. Eliana's voice is also
Hey, we do
good.
have Eliana in the background.
We have Eliana
She's
and
our
Ryan in the
special
background
guest today.
Yeah.
So it's just that kind of day, I guess.
Oh, I feel you, Molly.
How was your day now?
It's been a hectic morning, even though it's just only 12 o'clock.
Honestly, when the weather is gloomy, I feel like everything
It just falls into place.
like when it's sunny and you're having like a really rough day, you still feel happy. I feel like, or is it just me? I don't know. It's just the gloomy weather makes me down.
Yeah, I know. Especially when it's raining, and it was raining all day yesterday, so outside the clouds are gray, and it's just like I opened up my curtains to get some sun in, and there was no sun.
It's bright though. It's really bright.
Just there's no sun
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like white bright.
Maybe it's different
Maybe
where
not in
you're.
my area where I was at, because where I live, it's not that bright. I opened my blinds, I still thought my house was dark.
Probably because the clouds are coming this way.
Depending, you talking about?
Oh wait, I have trees. I have a wood behind in my backyard. So yeah, the trees did not bring in any light. It was really gloomy this morning, and I think the weather plays a big toll of how I wake up in the morning. So
It
when I
does
drop
play
off
a
the
huge
kids,
effect on emotions and physically and mentally, which we'll talk to in another topic, I promise. But yeah, so I'm glad everybody is here today, even though we all had rough mornings.
yeah, let's just have a successful Tuesday, everyone.
Yes.
Okay. So, alright, so today's topic, we're going to be talking about marriage. Just our experiences, tips, or just generally marriage nowadays. Doesn't even have to be about our lives, just our opinions towards some things that are going on in marriage, some topics are being talked about. Yeah, that's basically why.
Just the idea of marriage and how it's viewed in the society. So.
It's not only that, maybe we can also talk about how it evolved, like the roles in marriage, how it evolved through the time.
How it changed during times.
Our opinions towards certain things have changed, and you guys can probably tell it's different, so everyone's going to voice their opinion.
So, you want to start?
About my marriage experience?
Well, it could be about your marriage. Let's start with our marriage experience.
How did you meet Isa?
Let's do that.
Oh, okay. Well, you're going to hear our stories, but each of our story was different. My story with my husband was more of an old tradition, kind of arranged marriage. So it was more like a guy looking to get married, led him to my dad. My dad has 3 girls. Usually culture plays a role where if there's more than girls in the family, they like to get the oldest one married off. So my dad was like, I have my oldest daughter not married. If you're interested. It was more like that. So, well, we got to know each other, obviously. Sat down, had a heart-to-heart conversation. I spoke everything about me. There was no nobody being fake. I literally said what I had to say. Hey, I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he said, hey, I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You either accept me the way I am, or you don't accept this marriage, and so on with that stuff. So I can say my experience in marriage was more of arranged kind of a way. So it just happened in in the old society, and just how it is. And God bless, alhamdulillah, we've been married for 9 years, going on 10.
Wow.
We have 3 little girls. So
It's so weird. Sometimes I forget it's been that long.
yeah, me too. Until I look at my oldest Rosanna and I'm like, oh shoot.
Yeah,
She's
because
turning
you
9
had
this year.
Rosanna right away.
I did, and we'll get into that again on another topic with pregnancy. But with the marriage situation, I can say, some people ask, like, how do you feel about arranged marriages and stuff? Some arranged marriage stories become successful and they last. Some arranged marriage stories don't become successful and they do not last, and that's due to the culture, that's due to the generation, that's due to the age gap between the wife and the woman, so it's all different.
And the understanding.
Yes,
You're so
and
good,
me and my husband are only about 3.5, almost 4 years apart, so we can say we're almost close in generation, not that far apart.
Yeah.
I think that also plays a big role on successful marriages. I mean, no marriage doesn't have ups and downs, but alhamdulillah, God bless, we've been okay.
Yeah.
Bless you.
We have one of our dwarfs, the sneezy one, in the background.
Sneezy, weepy, laughing.
So Sneezy Eliana's in the house, everybody.
How old are you when you got married?
Well, when I got engaged, I was 22. When I officially got married and put the ring on, I was 23.
Okay.
So it was like not that big of a gap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another?
Oh, okay. My story is
Mhm.
I have the typical story. We met in college. We were close friends, and he liked me, and I was too oblivious. He ended up disappearing for 3 years, studying medical school. I was still in college, and after 3 years, he came back. He sent me an email asking how I'm doing and if I was married, and I was like, no, I'm not married. I was going my way to work, and then he came back into my life and was like, I want to marry you. After 3 years, I was 24, and our family met, and so it was like we reconciled, and then we got married, and alhamdulillah, we've been married 3 years, I think it hit, so it's been interesting.
And then what's the age gap between you guys?
The age gap? 3 days. His birthday is the 7th, my birthday is the 11th of March, so it's only 3
Yeah, I
days.
always find it cute when she tells the story because he emailed her. It's like those back days where they used to mail the person like a letter, but even though texting was a thing,
I was just
He
gonna say,
still
why did he
emailed her.
email you? Like, oh, I remember why he emailed her. Okay.
Yeah. My
He was
husband.
blocked.
No. I just didn't want to talk to any man at that time. It's a long story.
listen,
Anyways.
blocked or not, he still find a way. to
It's
make
kind
it
of
work.
the whole if you let love go, it comes back if it's meant to be, and that's my
What's
story.
meant to be is meant
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah. So yeah, my
Your
husband's
love story
very
was 3
entitled.
years in the making
3 years.
before you guys got married.
Oh yeah.
Cause like what, you guys were like colleagues?
I think no, it was a year, and then he just disappeared for 3 years.
No, because you
Guys.
you knew him before Sarah got married.
Way before, and I met him. They were at their honors.
No.
Because grandma
She knew
passed
him
away,
after
and I
you
didn't
got
know
married.
him. It was after.
It was after you had Rosanna. Literally
Like,
right
Rosanna was
after you
so
had
baby.
Rosanna.
Oh, right. And it was at your honor ceremony when I met him.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, you guys, let's not talk about that.
Oh my god. Anyway, like literally, if we're just gonna sit here and talk about my story or what.
But it's a good story she gets to tell her future kids, you know?
It's okay, it's Iliana.
Be there for my daughter when she goes, like, if she ever falls in love with somebody, I can be like, Mom, if you let someone go, they come right back. Because I have, like,
You
I've
have
been
you
through
have
that.
experience.
So I'm
yeah.
glad I got to do that, yeah.
So Naomi,
How
how'd you meet Jihad?
Okay, so we kind of went briefly about this in our first episode, but I met Jihad through Noor because she's married to his brother. It was a relationship that I didn't want at first. I was turning it down in every way possible. However, he kept coming back. So we went on a family trip with Noor and our in-laws, but it was her in-laws at the time.
Can we do that?
So yeah, we went on a family trip, and it was to California. It was to Disneyland actually, and we were in a bus ride because we were like what, 10, 11 of us, 12 maybe, and
Bless you, baby.
bless you, mama. All right, and then he just started asking questions to the whole group.
No, look, I don't want to cut you off, but then he you forgot about the group chat. He created a group chat and asked for everyone's number so we can send pictures, you know, that we take. But the group chat was just so he can find Ilham's number so he can message her privately. I'm just like mind blown how smart he is.
Yeah.
How
So
nobody catch that?
I didn't think about it at the time because I
Like-
assumed Noor already sent the message that I wasn't interested.
I already
But
did.
we'll
which
talk
made me
about
look
this more in
bad.
the story. No.
No, but now
So let
I'm
me tell
kind
you
of-
what happened.
Hold on, now I'm kind of like thinking how Dad didn't catch that. Because Dad like catches everything.
Well, he didn't really because he was part of
Because
the group chat.
no. Let me
Wasn't
tell
that-
you why. Also because there was a guy that came asked my hand for my hand right before the trip. And me and Dad had to talk about how marriage is not in the cards for me, and I don't want to get married.
Oh,
So
he
So
probably
Dad
didn't
kind
think-
of
yeah,
just
okay. Didn't
ignored
think
the whole
much of it.
idea, and he was like, "Fine, we're not gonna talk about it. You don't want to get married, you don't want to get married," kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's just started asking questions and trying to get to know everybody. Because my brothers were on the trip, and he was trying to get to know them.
I
But
was not on
technically,
the trip, everyone, okay? Just so you guys know.
the question was more towards me, and then we just started talking, and then whenever I was walking, he would walk right with me, and my dad will send Omar to walk right between us, just to make sure there's like halal gaps
There's
all
the
the time.
halal gap, yeah.
And then I slowly started realizing that maybe it wasn't a smart idea for me to push it away. And so this happened at SeaWorld, where I tried to hint to him that I was interested, but then that was a moment Noor decided to tell our mother-in-law that I wasn't interested. And so all of a sudden me and Jihad were having this conversation right by the otters, by the way. I remember it. And she calls him over, and Jihad goes, "I'll be right back," with a huge smile on his face. And he comes back with the biggest, angriest face I've ever seen. And in my head, I knew what happened. And I was like, dang, Noor, you picked the wrong
I
time for
just
this.
delivered a message that was supposed to be delivered.
She followed directions.
Mind you,
You're the one that didn't have your
Mind
mind
you, I
straight,
found out after I got married that the only reason why he went on this trip is to get to know me. So at that moment, he was like, I took this stupid trip for no reason. And then
Oh.
I kind of like hinted it to him that I was interested, and everything went back
Wait,
to
what
normal.
else did he do? Did he do? What was the story about the hot chips bag?
Okay.
Oh my God, there's
So
also.
on our plane back,
This is
God,
after
the way
you
Allah
said-
plans is unbelievable.
After that, he was told that you no
Yeah.
longer. Okay.
So
Okay.
it's funny because the way Allah plans is
I didn't know about
unbelievable. Our seats in the plane back was literally right next to each other.
this. Okay.
It was me, him, and then my mother-in-law.
Okay.
So my dad made my mother-in-law sit by my mom, and he gave Omar's seat to my mother-in-law, and made Jihad switch around so that way there's armor between us. But on our way there,
yeah, Dad figured something out.
we went and we got snacks for the plane, and I bought a really big hot chips bag, but it wouldn't fit on my carry-on. So he was like, "Oh, I'll put it for you in my bag." And then we landed and we all went home. And then we landed at like 7 a.m. so we all like went to sleep. And I woke up from a text from him, "Good morning, hey, you forgot your hot chips bag with me." And that moment I was like, how did he get my number? But then I realized how we got my number, and then the rest was history.
You know what, Auntie? You're gonna have a beautiful story to hear when you grow up.
There's a lot more, but let's not like.
Oh, it goes way more in depth, but
Mm.
let's keep it brief.
Yeah. So
But yeah.
literally, like our marriage is all like different, like
Stories.
the old style range
Mhm.
to the all Hollywood. If I go on about my Hollywood drama, to
More like to the Hollywood love story
No,
and
no,
then
no.
the Hollywood drama.
No, you're more like a Hallmark story.
I'm a
Hers
Hollywood
is more
drama.
of like a
Hollywood
Hollywood
romance.
drama.
romantic drama.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
no, there's a lot of drama. It's like mine could be into a Turkish drama. Like this is how.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
You know, Middle Eastern, Turkish, and then you got Hallmark.
I'm the love stories that you watch on Christmas Day.
Yes, Exactly.
Yes.
Oh my
Except
God,
it
now
was
you
not
think-
Christmas, it was in the summer.
Yeah, but now that you think of it, actually, every Christmas Hallmark movie I've watched comes through the same
Same
route.
thing.
Oh yeah, and you were in Disney, so there had to be like, oh my god.
Like
World of
I think I
Magic.
said in the
Yeah.
other episode,
The world
you
of
know,
magic.
magic happens in Disney. It's where the magic
Also,
is.
another thing, my age gap between me and my husband is 6 years.
Oh
I didn't
she
mention that.
oh yeah, she got married to the oldest.
Well,
I got the oldest brother. She
let's
got the
put
one.
them in like order. You're what, 3 days apart?
3 days apart.
So 3 days, 4 years,
6 years.
And was bragging about how she will never marry somebody
Oh, yeah.
older than her by
That was
how many
another thing.
years?
Older than 3.
Nothing max than 3 years.
No.
Like I here's an advice to everyone. Never
Say never.
say never.
Never.
Also, don't put boundaries or stuff. Not boundaries. What's the other word?
Conditions? What are you trying to say?
When you don't put expectations
Oh,
that you
expectations.
don't know that will actually happen. Because my expectations for the guy that I wanted was, I have to create him on the computer. Like, there's no way this guy would have existed.
No, I mean,
But then,
Every girl's expectation of her dream guy is probably made up on a computer.
well, yeah.
You
But then
can't-
I got all of the things I was looking for with Jihad.
Minus
but
some.
because
minus
I was like, oh, he can't be this, he can't be that, he can't
Yeah.
be this. I was restricting myself from actually finding the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put like, oh, this is what I'm looking for, the qualifications, sorry. The qualification, not expectations. The qualifications that you put in, yeah, so the qualifications, just don't put too high of, like, of what you're looking for because it will restrict you from finding the actual good guy that's there for you. And I've noticed that in a lot of girls and I've tried to talk them through it.
No, but it's also not just. It's the way these girls, the way the girls grow up in general in this society or any other society. It's just they grow up with expectations, and we watch princesses and princesses
Okay.
all the time.
I had a feeling
Life
you
is
were
not a
gonna say
fairy
that.
tale.
It is a fairy tale.
it is.
It
I
is
always,
a fairy tale.
you guys, I never looked into a
It's
person.
how you make it.
I always wanted my relationship to be like Mickey and Minnie. Sorry, it wasn't even Prince and Princess. I wanted a Mickey who was always there for Minnie and who always like Minnie. And when she was mad, he was like, Minnie, does
Did
Minnie
you find
know?"
your Mickey?
Yeah.
Well, I did find my Mickey,
Okay then.
but
There you go.
he's not exactly Mickey.
Exactly,
But
like
I
I said.
mean, they're like
It's the
You're not gonna
relationship.
find
It's
it.
not the guy. Okay, like for example, like the whole Jasmine and Aladdin story. It's not that he has to
I
be
can
just.
just my stick.
It doesn't have to be just like
My
Aladdin.
husband's not a thief. He was not a thief of Agrabah.
He's just a chef. He's a
an
chef of.
amazing chef.
He was a chef
you
of
got
Durban
put on a
Heights.
carpet ride? I didn't know about that. Did you know about
You
that?
flew over the sky.
Huh?
You flew over the sky.
What?
He showed you the world.
He showed me the world.
You know the funny part? I think my love story is like Tangled, but my husband's not a thief either, and Moonlighter's a thief.
Oh.
So technically, if you think about it, the Disney fairy tales are not those
I think
perfect
mine's
stories.
like Belle and the Beast.
Actually, take that back. Take that back. I
Oh,
think that. I think I'm tangled.
No, you're
Because
not.
my husband hints sometimes. I saved you from your family's house, like he saved you from my tower. Like it was.
You could have
I
been
took
Cinderella.
you
No, but you that is like Jasmine though, because Jasmine
Got saved from the palace.
had so much expectations her dad had of her, and she wanted
She wanted to live
And
it.
she had a very close relationship with her dad.
Yeah.
I have that very close.
No,
relationship
my
with
man
dad.
is definitely Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, no.
Hardcore Beauty.
You have to look in the inner of your Mickey to find that he's not that beast. He's on the outside.
God
huh?
bless his soul. He's an amazing person. God bless,
You know,
If you guys watch These Are Husbands, we love you.
God bless your souls.
We
I'm
love
blessed.
you.
Like alhamdulillah. Like,
We are
honestly.
appreciative and we
We
thank
do?
God for you every day. Yes, I do.
it's a joke.
I do,
It's a joke.
I
No,
do.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I
won't.
do. I mean, yeah, I do.
She goes, wait, I mean, oh God, okay, no, okay.
We don't want to sleep on the
Disclaimer,
surface
we
tonight.
really do love our
Yeah, I know.
husbands.
Alhamdulillah.
My
God
daughter's
bless
over
them.
here yelling at me like, how can you not love Baba?
No, guys, this is okay. Even if I just a disclaimer. Our opinion towards certain topics that we'll be talking about marriage is not taken from personal experience.
Yes,
So
it's just
if we
opinions
view
in
on
general.
something passionately and we look like we're angry, it does not mean we're going through it. It does not mean anything. It's just
Okay, especially me, because I have a thing, when I get really into a topic, my resting bee face comes on and I start like yelling. But I'm not mad, I promise. It's just I'm really into a topic.
we get a little bit loud sometimes when we get into passion about any topic or any subject. I think we get that from mom a little
I
bit.
don't think I think that's just a women thing because women tend to use their emotions a lot. So when we use our emotions with vocal, it tends to
Come out loud,
like
but
guys.
it's not actually loud.
Yeah, guys are. I find it a blessing that they're able to separate their emotions while they're like portraying their point. Sometimes.
Yeah, because if you notice when it comes to, since we're talking about marriage, when it comes to an argument between a husband and his wife, the wife is the one that's always expressing anger first. It's because we use our emotions.
And then yeah,
Men, until you actually get to a point where you tick them off, that's when they start
they're like
using their
so
expressions.
calm while talking, like literally.
That is true. That is really true. And I look back into it.
And,
Yeah.
and the thing is, like, and I've noticed that a lot of us women, when they do that, we think that they're downgrading us because they're like taking it all cool and flowy
yeah, but
and
it's
whatever.
really not.
But that's just how men, because men are not really good at expressing their feelings.
No, it's not about that. Well, to me personally, because I don't want to talk about other women because I don't know how every woman feels. But to me personally, I feel like when I am in a really important topic and I'm talking about something that I'm trying to get my point across to my husband, it's I want to be heard. I want you to be. I want to feel like you're listening to me and talking back. And sometimes when I feel like, are you there? Like,
But
are
they're
you with
actually,
me?
but they're actually listening.
No, I know they're listening, but I watched a video saying that men, you need to get your topic across in less than 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, men
They
shut
zone
you
out,
off
yeah.
and they don't listen anymore.
Yeah.
So, you know what, ladies? In the future, write down what you want to say, record yourself, send it out.
Because
After 3 minutes, they're going to swipe off. They're not
Because
going to hear
if
you.
you're still talking about the same topic for 20 minutes straight, they're taking it as nagging. They're not taking it as you're
Oh, I
actually
hate
trying
that
to voice
word.
your opinion.
Nagging.
I know, but because they're just like, okay, the way women are raised with moms, it's the same way boys are raised with their moms. When the mom repeats herself constantly, and talks about the same topic constantly, the boy is raised as my mom is nagging, my mom is complaining. So when they get married and they're with their wife and their wife is talking about something, she could not be complaining, she could just be talking about something, but because it's been going on for 30 minutes straight, it could come off as nagging and complaining.
No woman nags for 30 minutes straight.
No, there are women in there.
They are.
For 30 minutes straight? She
Oh,
is
there
like,
are. Let's get benefit of the doubt for some men. There
They
are
are.
women that are tough.
There are.
There are times, you guys, we don't want to just aim. There are times where in a relationship, most of the problem could be the woman, not even the man. So
No, I know that. None of us are perfect. Women
No,
are
I'm
not
just
perfect.
saying.
Girls are not perfect.
it's not
Men
always
are not perfect.
like I'm sorry. Like I'm sick and tired of just hearing how women complain about how they're mistreated. Like coming out of a woman. Okay, I feel like they're using the card too much out of place. I feel like men are getting attacked these
That's a
days
whole
in
nother
society.
topic, but
just
because that topic I can rant on for days.
I can.
I think every woman can write on for days. Every married woman or a girl in a relationship can talk about this for days and hours and whatever you want to talk
No,
about.
I was
It's just
talking
a matter
about
of
women
fact.
using the women card a lot.
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm a woman. I'm
Woman
sorry.
math? What they call it nowadays?
No, it's not
Girl
woman
math.
Girl math.
No,
Well, girl.
No, it's not girl math. It's just using the card that I'm a woman.
No,
As a reason why they should get
guilty
away with
card,
everything,
Like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, no. I'm sorry.
We'll talk about this more also when we talk about pregnancy. Like, a lot of women complain about their husbands during their pregnancies. And yeah, I can say there's a lot of men that are not involved or not there for them during the pregnancy. But I also feel like they're getting it completely way out of what it actually is. Because most men are actually more excited than the women during pregnancy. And then they make the man look bad.
Yeah, but some cases there's a lot.
Oh, I did say there's a lot
partners
of-
out there.
Yeah,
just
well,
saying.
I mean, I don't want to say anything, but yeah.
They are
So-
like I don't want to just there are women who actually don't get it great. We're not putting that down, but there's women who do. But
Yeah.
we're just saying guys get
No,
it
like,
rough too.
sorry,
and
I'm
women
not
get
like,
it.
oh, if I burst out at you, like, just to go what I meant by the whole pregnancy, they go, oh, I'm pregnant. I can do whatever I want.
Oh, yeah, the pregnancy card.
Yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much our marriage stories.
You want to talk about some advices we'd like to give to like newlyweds or people who are about to get married or just advice?
I mean, the biggest thing that everybody should know when it comes to marriage is always compromise. Compromise before anything, because
It's
It's not a
Patience.
one-way route. Well, they kind of all play hand in hand.
Okay, compromise, but let me put some limit on that. Compromise on both sides. If
Well,
you're
yeah.
the only one compromising,
It's
No.
not a compromise.
it's a give and take. Marriage is a give and take.
If it's
relationship.
only coming one-sided, that is not a compromise. A compromise is when, let's say, one person wants to do this, but you want to do something else, and they're like, okay, we can do this now, and then we can do this another day. That's compromising. Them saying like, no, I want to do this, and we can't do that. That's not a compromise.
Okay,
I mean, it's not always about going out, but I just didn't want to
But
go too deep
never,
into it.
never compromise yourself. Never compromise yourself. Do not change who you are for somebody else. Normal. Like, I get it, lost. Like, marriage life is different. So you are gonna change a little bit. When you're a mom, you are gonna change a little bit. But like,
Both
just
men and women
don't
change.
who you are. And please, like, here's another advice: you're not in a relationship to change someone else as well. So if you're trying to change him and he's trying to change you, then I will
That's not
tell you,
marriage for
Leave that to
walk
your
out.
mamas and leave that to your mama.
Yeah, you ain't raising no kid.
We're done being raised.
And he's not your dad to change you either. So
Exactly.
that's just, I think, a big advice, because like a lot of kids these days are changing who they are so they can feel loved. It's not
My
necessary. It's not
advice
necessary. It's not.
is patience.
Yeah.
I say every marriage needs patience, and I'm not talking about, oh, I was patient for a month, oh, I was patient for a day, I was patient for 24 hours. No, I'm talking about patience. Like, everything you do in life, you have to be patient with. So when it comes to your marriage, this is something that you decide that that's going to be your future, be patient, because you both, and especially if you are different cultures, different countries, different, be patient and give it at least, my dad always said, Dad, no, literally,
No,
I
no.
was-
Sorry, Eliana's in the background.
Oh,
Like,
making my background sounds, my background music. That always said, marriage takes at least 5 years. If you can last 5 years in that marriage, you can last 7. And if you last 7 years in that marriage, you can last 10. And he goes, after 10 years, Dad, if you think it didn't work, then you must be stupid. You'd have thought about that 5 years before.
Yeah.
So if your marriage can last 5, 7, 10 year max, then, you know, God will,
Okay.
inshallah, it will last longer.
Can we talk about that? Because that's something that's also that I've noticed a lot, and it's bothering me so much.
What?
There's a lot of women, okay, talking about compromising yourself and losing yourself, whatever. There's a lot of women that will be married for about 30 years. They'll have kids, their kids are grown, have their own kids, everything. And then they go, oh, I just never loved him.
Okay, there's no such thing, I'm sorry, and this goes, I'm just talking about me.
Falling
I don't know
out of
how- There's no such thing I fell out of love or
Exactly.
I no longer love him.
But
You
that's
love him.
that's everybody's reasoning. Oh, I fell out of love. How do you
Because
fall
they
out of
can't
love
find
out of
any other
30 years?
excuse. They're not gonna expose themselves out there of why they ended up with
Okay,
30 year
I'm
marriage.
gonna be the opposite side here. It's not that I'm hanging
Wait,
out.
hold on. Let me just finish my point real quick.
Okay.
Because I always lose thought. What you said is there's no such thing as I fell out of love. That's usually their excuse of why they ended their marriage. But if you've lived with somebody for 30 years and you've handled all their cons and pros, and their cons were worse than their pros, but you handled it for 30 years,
You can still handle it.
you can still handle it for more. And,
Exactly.
and I feel like some people, because of society and culture and tradition, get stuck in marriages and they can't back off because of what people are gonna say about them. If they decide that they want to walk out of this marriage earlier, they stay in an abusive
Okay.
marriage and maybe a depressive
I'm not
marriage
talking
for
about
kids.
abusive marriage. Abusive
No, I'm
marriage,
talking
if you're in
about
abusive
marriage in general.
Please
you
get
should
out.
never be in one.
Yeah, well, okay, that's a different topic. I'm talking about why people sometimes decide to stay in a marriage for 30 years because of
Yeah,
they're worried
that's what
about
I'm saying.
people's talking.
It's not even just
The
about
community, the people, the tradition. Oh, she has girls. Oh, how are you gonna get divorced and you have girls? Who's gonna raise your kids? Nobody can be better than their dad, for example. Or oh, you have kids. Do you
not
think people are
true,
gonna
most
marry
cases.
you? You have 2, 3 kids. Nobody gonna look at you that way. You don't hear society and community people how they talk.
People are gonna talk either way.
Exactly.
That's
but
the thing, but that's the
now
thing.
this is
can't-
how we think.
You can't live your
Yeah,
life, especially a marriage life, worrying about who is gonna say what.
okay, but this is how
Even if
we
it's your
think
family,
now.
even if it's your family members, when it comes to your marriage's life, and I'm not trying to mean it's nobody's business. If your marriage is bad, get the hell out. Get out.
Yeah, but every
Not
marriage
what your
has
mom,
its
not what
ups and
his mom,
downs.
not what anybody. No, I don't mean, oh, we're arguing 2 days a week. Oh my god, my marriage is horrible. No. I mean, like, you're walking out of the house bleeding bruising or
Okay,
you know,
nobody's
other
just saying in a
stuff.
relationship
Can
like
I
that
say
in general.
something? Can I say
There
something?
is a lot of people.
This is the beauty of our religion. There's 3 reasons why a woman shouldn't be with a man. If he abuses her,
Mhm.
if he's cheap,
Mhm.
and what's the third thing?
You wanna bring up a topic?
I know, but I forgot. But these, okay, let's just talk about the 2 because I
Looking at
can't remember.
religion.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
that's not.
No,
that's-
that's the main
that's
topic about our
topic.
religion.
Okay, if he doesn't.
If he doesn't have
If he
the
doesn't
religion,
have
if he's
faith.
cheap, and if he's abusive.
Okay. So this is the thing where women can just say like, "Hey, I don't want you," and has
There's
rights.
other reasons.
There's
but-
others, but these are the main 3, right? If he's abusive,
If
you
he's
know, you
cheap,
don't have
and
to
if he
stay. If
doesn't-
he's cheap, then he's not gonna take care
If
of
he's
you. He's
cheap,
not gonna
then
take care of
yeah.
his family. He's not worth anything. He's not worth your time. He's not worth your effort. He's not worth anything. So the fact that we have that, and then it's like so easy, like you can just literally say like, I don't want you anymore, and it's your right, and then you know your family can't say anything, and no one can say anything. And at the same time, the another nice thing it says in your marriage, it's best to keep marriage things private, because in situations where you're out and you're just like talking, someone's talking about their marriage, how amazing their husband is, or how amazing, because nothing is true. No one talks about the bad thing. They only talk about the good thing. So you never really know.
Also, speaking
Causes
of that,
jealousy, which is causes problems. So that's like, if you just think about things in our religion that says like do and do not, man, how it eliminates a lot
it
of
goes
problems
based off
in
what you
marriage.
just said. Also, what
Yeah.
you see on social media is not all that's happening in a marriage. Like she said, what you see in public, that's not the whole relationship. So don't think, oh, they're all happy.
Don't ever
No,
compare.
that's not how it works. Like, I'm sorry, nobody's gonna put out their business on blast. They're only gonna put the
Exactly.
good stuff. So if all you're seeing is good, no, that's not all that's happening.
It's
in a
not true.
relationship.
It's not true. And like what we're telling you also advices, it might work for you, it might not. Maybe in your relationship, the things that work can compromise between you and your husband or your significant other or whatever is something that possibly I could never handle or anyone does. If it works for you, it works for you. You know your partner better. Partner knows you better, and you know your situation better. For example, like I wanted to talk, but I didn't want to cut you guys off. Some women don't leave their relationship because they're too worried about their kids, because divorce does
affect the kids.
affect the kids, and that's a whole topic we can talk about. Divorce affects the kids mentally, and it really like childhood is very important. You know what I mean?
But I was
Also, what affects the kids as well is toxic family.
relationship.
So even if you decide to stay and it's like too toxic, you might as well get divorced. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, they get divorced when they're older because they only stay
for the
until
kids.
their kids are
That's the
old
thing.
enough, and then it's like, okay, I don't have to stay with you anymore.
Yeah, my kids got married, they moved out. That's what I was trying to finish up when she said that about
so
30.
that's also like the benefit of the doubt
Once
for some
they
women.
get their kids settled and situated in their life, and oh, I've raised you to this extent, you're married now, you're your own woman or your own man in your own house, then they're like, okay, I stayed with you long enough for our kids to grow up and have a better future. My kids are on their own now. It's my time. It's me time. Every woman thinks that way, like, okay, it's me time. Or some men might even, well, I don't want to always just target women, but even some men might feel like, hey, I'm done with you, you know? I suffered with your everything for my kids, and now I just want to have me. You know, people go through a midlife crisis.
Ways, but so if you're angry, if your spouse is really angry and then they want to like just hear them out, and then in a calm way, because also it's kind of like a debate, right? So if I'm talking to you and you're so angry, one, you can't hear nothing I'm saying at that moment because you're so heated in the conversation. So if I'm calm, and the moment I become calm, you're like in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, why am I fired up? Like the person's calm, why am I fired up? And I'm listening to you and I'm like talking to you while you're yelling at me in a low tone, then you suddenly become low without even noticing. So that it helps. So like if you guys are both screaming at each other, trying to get your point across, there is no point coming across because he can't hear you, and she, you know, it's the same, and she can't hear you. So just try to like talk it out. And if you guys are the type of people who really get heated, then you know what? When the situation happened, go take
Walk
5
away.
minutes to yourself and then come back. And if your partner feels like you're ignoring the situation, you can easily say, hey, I need
to
5
calm
minutes.
down. I'll
We'll
be
get
right
back to this topic. And
When
you
we're
come
both
back.
done. Yeah.
And talk about the topic. That's
So that way you don't lead into
yeah.
a big argument, because when you're mad, a lot of people say, oh, when you're mad you say the truthful thing. That's not true. when you're mad, you will say anything to make the other one more mad, and the other person is gonna think what you're saying is true, which is not. So you're gonna say also other things to make the other person mad, and it's just gonna lead into a big argument. So if you're the type of person that does get heated, like Noena said, walk away for 5 minutes.
Walk.
I promise it will help. And when you come back and you guys are both calm, you guys can talk it out like adults.
Because I don't want to say stay silent, because communication in any relationship is
very
key.
important.
So you need to communicate. Never just not communicate. But, you know, again, you know your spouse, you know what works. So do it in a way that works for you guys. Like, if you need to take a walk, take a walk. If you need to pin it and come back at the end of the day and say, like, hey, this happened today, let's talk about it. Or if you guys just need to talk about it on the spot and then it needs to be said, then try to be calm. If your spouse is angry and like heated, try to be calm. And, you know, like, I don't want to repeat myself.
The most important thing though, don't ever go to bed mad at each other.
Never, yeah.
And there's no such thing called you sleep in the other room when you sleep on the couch.
I
If
literally
you do that, your marriage is over.
I tell my husband 2 important things. My good morning kiss, goodbye, and my good night kiss. Even if we're angry, I want my good morning kiss and I want my good night kiss. And like, it's necessary because you don't want you don't want that because when you kissing someone or hugging someone and you're angry, it calms you down a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So always try find what works for you guys. Honestly, that's my biggest advice.
Mama, what do you think about this? Yes, I agree.
She agrees. Like, advices, I don't have, because I think we covered mostly a lot of them. I mean, there might be some that we probably didn't cover, and maybe like our viewers and our followers will comment down and give us their advices as well. I mean, just like how we give advices, you guys can give us advices of your experience with your relationships, your marriage relationship. We take it. Just like how you take in ours, we take yours. It's a two-way
and if we didn't touch a certain subject, we can always have it on another podcast.
Yeah, because
right?
like, you know, exactly. We're talking about marriage, but then there's roles.
There's
Could
many,
be, and
there's
then,
many
you know,
like each topic we're talking about leads to like 6 different discussions. So
Yeah. It's like an umbrella that has like a lot of
we will re-talk about marriage again in the further future, talking about a certain thing or talking about it. Just
because each topic leads to another topic, and then it goes back to the same topic with
Yeah.
the main original idea.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, we'll be talking about a lot of things all together, and also, just like how we just brought up each one of us our different advices.
Very interesting. If you share, whether it's if you want to post it and tag us on Instagram, or just comment your story. How you met your spouse, or your partner,
boyfriend,
whatever it is. Like, how'd you
Everything.
meet? Like, share your story, because you know it's always like I'm always ready to hear someone's like, how did you meet?
Yeah, I want to
I
hear
wanna
your love
people's-
story.
Yeah, I want to hear other people's
It's
fairy
like
tales.
when you sit and have coffee and then you're talking to somebody who just got like engaged or married or with somebody. It's always like, so what's the story behind it? How did you meet? Like, please, I want the juice. Tell me. So we would love to hear your stories.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's pretty much our topic for today. I mean, again, we didn't cover it all, but we will cover it up again in more episodes. But yeah, so just keep in mind the one thing to take away from this: your marriage is your marriage. So keep most of it to yourself and figure it out on your own. That doesn't mean do not get advice. Yeah, if you need advice, get it. But like I said, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Have Instagram, the Kyle Sisters, and TikTok, the Kyle Sisters. And if you're here, then you're on our YouTube page. And if you are busy and you want to listen to the audio version, we're on Spotify as of
Also,
now.
the Hyden Sisters.
The Kyle Sisters. And don't forget, comment, like, and like we always say, subscribe.
Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.